Hi! Today, I'm going to talk to you about some would consider boring, but what others would consider interesting and fun to learn. So I'm going to talk to you about solar power. Now I'm going to hit a couple different subjects, subjects such as how much they cost, the type of technology we have, how we use the power, some good things, some bad things, some impacts on the ecosystem, and how it all relates and ties into chemistry. First, I'm going to show you this nifty little chart that I drew that is nifty, but it's terribly drawn, and that's quite okay. So you got the friendly little sun up there, just having the best day of his life. He sends the little rays to the solar panel right here, which catches it, does whatever it has to do, turns it into electric energy, and then sends it to the house, which gives the house electricity and heat, which is great during the winter. Next thing is how much they cost. Now when I looked it up 24 panels, and somehow I got $7,350, which, in all honesty, is not that much for something that could save you a ton of money. After, though, you buy the panels, you don't have to pay anything else due to the fact of the sun being a renewable resource, and you don't have to pay for energy coming from the sun, because that would be ridiculous. What else? We're going to talk about type of technology we have. Right now, all we have is solar panels. Solar panels are just something to catch the rays and then turn it into electric energy and then send it back off to the neighborhoods, the factories, buildings, stuff like that. But although some of the bad things would be, the panels are made out of sexually rare metals such as tellurium. There's on the periodic table if you want to look that up real quick. And when you put the panels in a habitat near animals, the panels give off chemicals, and then the animals can breathe them in, and they can die or get very sick, which is bad for the habitat loss, or animal loss. Although there are mostly good things about solar power. Solar power is super clean, very efficient. It's also used for farming and agriculture, which agriculture has to do with animals, and farming has to do with vegetables, food, crops basically. Back to what I said earlier about animals breathing in, that's an effect on the ecosystem. Also, land degradation and habitat loss, which is what I think I said a bit earlier, but habitat loss. Those are pretty big ones. Just to animals. No one really talks about how much land it takes up, because it, in all honesty, doesn't take that much land up, because they're not very big unless you buy a giant bunch of them, which why would you want to buy a giant bunch of them? Finally, I'm going to talk to you about how it all ties into chemistry. So when the panels catch the light, they convert it into electric energy. And then the conversion is accomplished by absorbing light and ionizing crystal atoms. And then creates freely charged ions, and if the ions are created from a simple basic crystal, then the energy can be sent to houses and to neighborhoods. So basically it catches it, turns it into an ion, ships it out, and then it's used for neighborhoods, houses, factories, buildings, stuff like that. Some people would say, like I said earlier, that solar panels take up a ton of land, but like I said earlier, in all honesty, it doesn't. They're only about, I would say, 8 feet, and they're not very wide. So unless you buy a ton of them, it would not take up a ton of space. Here's a little fun fact that I learned while I was surfing the web. The sun is 90 million miles away, but it only takes less than 10 minutes for the light to travel that distance. So here's the sun up here, and then here's Earth way down here 90 million miles away. It's like that. It just goes super quick, and we have a ton of light energy going down, and that's why I think a lot of people should use solar energy. It's quick, it's efficient, it's safe, stuff like that. So I thank you for watching and enjoying my video, and I hope you all learned something new.